Hello, I'm the curator and this is today's item. This video is part of the decent gaming rig, computer rig building video series Supreme times 1.5. Yeah, this is only the box. I'm actually going to jump cut to the machine itself in a few seconds because of the way I record videos. You didn't really need to know that. That's a bit behind the scenes tidbit of information. That's only for... I'm going off on a tangent, but this is the motherboard I've got, the MSI Z97 PC Mate. Now I shall be getting the i7-4790K, and I read about that the Z97 type motherboard was the best one to get for it. So it's got all sorts of information. It's got a lot of information on the back, which is pretty much the same information as on the website, but because this isn't coded in whatever website terminology that they have that makes it lag like hell on my laptop, it's a bit easy to read in this fashion. It was quite well packed. I was rather unnerved by how close to the top and unguarded the motherboard was, but this is my first motherboard. They might all come like that for all I know. It's a flat box, a bigger box than I was expecting. In all the videos that I've been looking up on the internet of how to build gaming rigs and what the best things to go for, everything looks a lot smaller, and I was quite surprised just by the sheer size of everything. Not that I'm complaining, I was just, sort of surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be tiny. See, empty box. But I wasn't expecting it to be massive. Now I'm just going to jump cut to the machine itself because I need to resort my camera and stuff like that. Be back in a tick. Now, this is the inside of my case. I've done a bit of cable managing, can't really see it very well, but my lighting isn't the best at present. Let me see if I can angle it more towards the light. It's better than nothing. Anyway, as you can see, this is the inside of the case. It's changed a little since the last few videos on the decent topic. There's still the fans and the PSUs down there. But as you can see, there's a big old motherboard in the middle. It's quite a nice looking motherboard. Not that I go for looks much, but it's, the blue and black colour scheme is, quite nice. It actually goes with the fancy sort of auto lock majigs on my sort of front panel stuff. It sort of goes with them in an odd sort of way. I didn't notice that before until before now. But yes, it's got quite a nice few features. Got 5 fan headers. It's got a 3-pin one at the bottom here. Let me just tilt the camera. It just takes a moment to resource itself. Oh, it's on the front leg of the tripod. That sounds like a euphemism. There's one there. There's one over here, and there's one up here somewhere which can't really see because the USB 3 header and the motherboard wires in the way, but it's there. There's the RAM. I'll be talking about that in the next video. There's I've kept the sort of cover for the CPU thing on because I haven't got the CPU yet. People might think I'm mental for doing that, but that's just the way I do things. It will work fine, trust me. It's got a couple of PCI Express, the little PCI ones. I never remember any of their names because they're all called different things. I always forget. Basically, there's one for the graphics card, and that's all I'll be using. I won't be going for any of this SLI stuff. I was going to go for an XFX AMD Radeon R9 blah de blah, but after some consideration I've decided to go for NVIDIA GTX one. I might go for the GTX 980, I don't know. I was going to get the AMD one until Witcher 3 came out and actually didn't do all that, well on the AMD graphics cards I was looking at, and seeing as I want decent to be a future-proofed project, I wanted to get the best I could at the moment in time. Because the GTX 980 Ti is coming out soon, the GTX 980 regular will be a bit cheaper soon, so that'll be nice. A friend is gifting me a GeForce 9800 GT from 2007, and I'm going to use that because it's basically a graphics card graphics card equivalent, according to past benchmarks, of the Intel HD graphics that I will have on the CPU. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but I'm happy to play less game. Basically, even without this external graphics card, this machine will be better than my laptop at the moment. And seeing as my laptop can play a good few games, just not all of the ones I want to play, hence why I'm building this, amongst other reasons. You know, the laptop is like dying; it's at the end of its life cycle. This will be automatically better, so I'm not going to complain at all because there's nothing to complain about. It was nice to install it. It's got a few. It's got 6 screw holes that you screw onto the. It might just be a motherboard problem, but there aren't any screw holes on the extreme right edge. And when I was plugging in some of the wires, it bent a bit, and I wasn't so pleased with that because that made it look a bit fragile, I suppose. I'm quite pleased with the cable managing. That's where those are the graphics card things. I'll probably talk about the cable managing a bit better when I've got better lighting. I did have my very bright lamp somewhere, but I don't know where it's gone. Must have put it away somewhere. That doesn't matter though. But yeah, I've got everything that I wanted on this motherboard. I've plugged in all my front bits. I'll have another proper look when it's actually working, of course, which will be fairly soon, within 2 months at least. Yeah, but yes, that's the motherboard. I'm very pleased with it, otherwise I wouldn't have got it, obviously. And I'm sure it shall serve me well for a good few years in my masterpiece. Decent. Yes, it shall be a world-beating computer. Especially with the 32 gigabytes of RAM I'm getting, and the aforementioned GTX 980, the i7-4790K. It shan't be a whole lot that I can't do. I think that's all I need to say. Bye-bye.